Good evening, everybody. It's Taff's Word Live. Kev is back.
Hello
I'm not
all.
on my own. Yeah, it's been quite lonely the last couple of weeks, if I'm being honest. But having Kev back, it's all good. We've got a West Ham perspective on things other than just Newport County and Liverpool this time as well. West Ham were quite disappointing yesterday.
Don't mention that.
So an awful lot to talk about. I mean, we can touch on things like Gareth Bale and the treatment he's getting at Real Madrid. How bad Real Madrid have been this season. If they win tonight, if they win tonight, they're 12 points behind Barcelona in La Liga, which is quite shameful for them. What else? Liverpool a scare at Anfield, winning 4-2. Man United, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's domestic record is over. Say Man United was saying that Man United were terrible.
I wouldn't say they were terrible. They had chances to win the game. United, they should have won it. Probably,
I thought it was a pretty even game, personally.
Never a penalty.
So George WBA saying, I would like to say I'm disgusted with my club. I got a feeling that's got something to do with Darren Moore's sacking, which I'm quite disgusted with that one myself.
With West Brom.
Yeah.
Stupid sacking now. He's fourth in the league and he's second manager.
Yeah. Also, Chelsea had to rescue a point at home to Wolves with a stoppage time Eden Hazard equaliser. Also, the controversy at St Andrews today with the fan running on the pitch assaulting Jack Grealish. Something you don't want to see in football. Obviously, some idiot went running onto the pitch at the Arsenal game. Just the night before then as well, or the night before last night, you had the issue with Hibs.
Yeah, one in Scotland as well.
So that's 2 games in a row. Well, that's 2 games, high-profile games that Hibs have brought controversy on themselves. Well, their supporters at least, anyway, because obviously the Rangers, when obviously someone went up to Tavernier, and then there was obviously bottle throwing in the Celtic game as well. So, like I say, an awful lot to talk about tonight, guys. So we don't have to have this dominated by Newport County. But anyway, so Craig is in evening. I tell you what, give me 2 seconds. I'm going to let Kev speak to you. I want to show you something that Craig sent me. Give me 2 seconds, guys.
Right then, guys. What do you want to talk about? Mention anything? I just want to say about the Man United game. Someone mentioned it. I don't think United were terrible. Don't think it was a penalty neither to Arsenal, but
I think I agree with that. I think I don't think it was a penalty. I think it was soft. I think obviously the controversy last night. I think the officiating of having VAR in the Premier League is going to be useful next season. I think there's too many high-profile decisions going against teams when they shouldn't, and it's not fair if you don't lose a game on merit. I think if you lose a game,
the thing is, they had it in the FA Cup where they had some games had VAR and some didn't.
Yeah.
Now, how can you have some games with and some without when you've got a team have probably gone out for a dodgy decision and the team stayed in because they've used VAR?
Yeah.
So how is that on a level playing field? And I think you either use it or you don't.
Absolutely. 100%.
And I think every game should have it.
So Craig was good enough to send me something. It is a slate coaster with the engraving of the Newport County badge, and I don't think, Kev, have you seen that? Have a look at that, Kev.
That is good.
Craig always sent me that. Yeah, I have tried to get the club shop to stock them, so hopefully you'll see these bad boys in the club shop one day soon. Thank you again, Craig, for sending that in to me, mate. I use it on my bedside table when I have a drink at night, so thanks again. Right then, okay, Bobby Beckford, Arsenal, fortunate De Gea mistake and soft penalty. It's quite a rarity, isn't it, a De Gea mistake in this day and age? I know he had his dodgy spell when he first joined the club.
They were discussing it after the match, Carragher and what have you, and he said that the ball moved. Yeah, the ball did move slightly, but I think De Gea, I don't know what he was doing, he didn't even move for it. I think he just tended to go one way, and if he had stood still, I think he gets it.
The only defence I got for him is where the ball has moved. When a goalkeeper positions themselves and then they start leaning one way, it takes an awful long time for them to readjust and go the other way. And the ball flew so quickly, because when they slow it down, it looks like a really bad mistake. But when it goes quickly, it looks like a good goal. Chelsea were very lucky today, absolutely. I think Wolves dug in, and their goal was an excellent team goal. Absolutely brilliant. But there we go. George WBA, Arona asked for him to be sacked, apparently. He's been to 1 game all season. So, is that what we call owner power abuse?
Well, the thing is, what was it, West Brom fourth in the league, are they? Or were up until yesterday, and they've sacked their manager. Well, at the end of the day, he only can do what he wants. He owns a club, but I just think it's absolutely ridiculous. Who are they going to get in this time of season as well? You can't change anything. Yes, if you're bottom of the league, look what happened with the county. Obviously, we bought Flinney. If you're bottom of the league, it's different.
Yeah.
But you're fourth in the league, you're in a playoff spot.
He could have still taken them up.
He could have taken them up. He could still win the playoffs. Whatever. I just think it's stupid.
One poor run of form, it doesn't define your season. I mean, we know with being county fans, you know, a bit of poor form doesn't define your season, and we've still got an 8-side shot of playoffs at the end of the day. And if we do get there, we've had an opportunity to get in the playoffs with a cup run with one of the lowest budgets in the league.
So you look at the West Brom thing really, and you look at it, then we might as well sack Flinney. The teams above us might as well sack their managers because none of us are good enough.
It's knee-jerk.
It's stupid, absolutely stupid.
Too many managerial knee-jerk decisions being made in football these days, especially in British football.
I genuinely think, and I know it might sound stupid, that Darren Moore should actually appeal that and say, why have you sacked me? Because at the end of the day, am I doing a bad job?
No, it's like the same thing happened to Gary Rowett at Birmingham, and for 2 seasons,
these managers should have some say. I get you sack a manager, bottom of the league, haven't won a game, blah blah blah. You sack them. They haven't done the job they're paid to do. Yeah. If you sack someone fourth in the league, surely he's got rights to turn around and say, "Why have you sacked me?"
Exactly. I'm sure the LMA will have something to say about that, but there's not a lot they can really do about it, is there? There should be protection. There should definitely be protection for managers in contract, and it's got to be some sort of criteria has to be met before you can sack a manager legally. But I do think managers need protection. Weed, Taff set it up. Weed versus Ali. Weed versus Ali. Which Ali are you talking about now, mate? So Rich, massive respect. Needs to go to Emery, having a great first season for Arsenal. He's doing something a bit different, yeah?
I wouldn't say it's a great season, no. Really, they've just gone fourth in the league now today. That's not a great season as such.
But I think
it's still no different to what Wenger has, really. Wenger always got Arsenal into the top 4.
But then I suppose what they're doing is they're playing better football.
Oh, they might be playing better football, but obviously it's not getting them the results in. They're not top of the league. They're what? 14 points behind Man City.
It's a lot of work to get Arsenal back up to the top.
It is, and don't get me wrong, he's only been there once. He hasn't been there full season yet, and he'll probably be good for Arsenal.
Yeah, of course.
To say he's doing a great job.
Great is a strong word, maybe. Weedy Weed, aka Peplo. So Weedy Weed is someone who knows Mark Peplo. I just think that Weedy Weed, Mark Peplo's got a bit of a gang.
I think it's Peplo himself.
Yeah, Mark Peplo's got a bit of a gang with aliases, and they're all over our channel trying to bring it down. It's not going to work, Peplo, you little fucking toad. Luke County, can Liverpool win against Bayern Munich in the week? Of course they can, with the attacking power they've got, absolutely. But Bayern Munich will not be a pushover. Obviously, Bayern Munich could have won the game at Anfield in the end, you know. So, right, okay, Weedy, let me buy that, please. Go and see Craig Owie. I'm sure Craig Owie will let you buy as many as you want. Dan Short, hey Taff, what's your thoughts on both Birmingham pitch invader and Arsenal pitch invader?
Should be both banned for life.
Banned for life, 100%. Banned for life, fines for the club. And
fines for the club. This is a sticky subject, really, because obviously what can the club do to stop anyone going on the pitch? You can't have a steward for every person, but the club has to take some responsibility. If it happened, Newport County have obviously been fined in the past for things fans have done. And yes, they've got to take some responsibility, but I think the both of them, if you enter a field of play while the match is on, then it's a life ban, as far as I can see. Yeah.
During the game, I can understand.
During the game, at the end, I understand at the end, and they say you're not supposed to go on the pitch when,
even to
like with us at Notts County when we stayed up, which was different. We weren't expected to do it. It was a miracle and everything else. But if you enter a field of play while a match is on, it's a life ban.
So I think you enter a field of play after a goal or something like that, and you get carried away, a 3-year ban will suffice on that.
Depends. Genuinely, I think if you've got a match on while that game is being played, you enter the pitch. At the end of the day, why do it in the beginning?
There's no point.
I get excited from goals. I've never run on the pitch during the game.
No, I've never run on the pitch during the game.
98% of people probably haven't. So why should the 2%? To me, it should be a life ban.
I suppose if you throw a life ban into it, make an example of these two
then
jerk-offs.
it'll stop, because I'm not being funny. It's happened to 3 games over the weekend now, and bottles thrown, which I know you can't stop that as such. But 3 fans entered the field of play or have approached players. I know the guy in the Arsenal game didn't hit anyone, but he approached the player.
Yeah, you can't go near players. No,
it shouldn't happen.
Right then, so only 7 likes, 25 of you in. Everybody get those thumbs up. Get the numbers up. 7. Let's see if we can turn it into 15 within the next sort of few seconds. Keane, so Nick Muller, we got a draw. So Ipswich managed to get a draw, and it cost me on my accumulator as well. But I'm glad you got your draw, mate. Keane Davis, evening Taff, evening Kev. Also nice to see Isaac Bishop here again, true Caney fan. Isaac Bishop, wherever you are, hello to you too, as well as you, Keane. George W. Fair play, Nick. What do you think of the stadium? All right, there's a little conversation going on there. Russ Page, evening to you both. Evening, Russ.
Evening, Russ, yeah.
Right then, H is in. Terrible officiating at the Newcastle Everton game. I haven't really seen the highlights of that one yet.
So I haven't watched it either.
I got the rerun of Match of the Day to watch later with my dieting mousse that I'm going to have. I'm going to devour that later. I'm trying to lose a bit of weight for my wedding, of course. George W. Obviously they're having a chat still. Welsh Gamer, Weedy Weed, why are you here? It's a good question. I'd like to know that as well. Bradis Petford, who's your top 4 in the Premier League? Top 4?
Man City, Liverpool, Arsenal and United.
I don't know. I think Tottenham have got their players coming back.
I think Tottenham will slip up, I do. I honestly do. Although I'd love to see it happen, he will.
I know every team in London seems to hate Tottenham. I don't know what it is about Tottenham that everyone seems to just bloody hate them. Right then, well done Villa beating Birmingham. I was actually really, really glad that they did in the end after what that fan did. And the thing is, you know, people say don't tar everybody the same brush, but the stadium got up and cheered, and there were people on their feet cheering and punching the air when he done it.
Yeah, but it's not the first time apparently Birmingham City have been involved in anything like that. So to me, the club got to be punished for it. How you do that, I don't know.
I think if for example, right, when the fans invaded the pitch at the end of our Man City game, 95% of our supporters didn't get involved, and we actually sang at them, calling them all wankers, and sang to them to get off the pitch. Now, the difference between us and then Birmingham, when that fan ran on and hit Jack Grealish, they all stood up and cheered, and then they clapped him off and cheered him off as if he was some kind of hero.
The difference is the game was still being played anyway.
Yeah.
That's the difference, full stop. The game was being played. I still don't think anyone should enter a field of play whether the game's on or not. No. And yes, we all probably have it at the time at the end of a match to celebrate the win or whatever. Celebrate a good occasion, but to enter it during the game's on, I just...
Yeah, completely agree. Welsh Gamer 2899 Taff, did you see Ward praises free kick? No, I'm still to watch Match of the Day.
Absolutely
I'm going to be watching.
Fantastic free kick.
Looking forward to watching it.
Seen it last night, brilliant.
Weedy Weed is saying that he makes things entertaining. Now, I think you'll find that me and Kev are the ones that make it entertaining. You just make it slightly more interesting with your presence.
Cheers, Kev.
UTFC, the effing county.
Cheers, Keane.
Yeah, so as where Keane was mentioning Isaac Bishop, a proper county fan. Elliot 243, do you think will come up? Who do you think will come up from the National League? I think it'll be Solihull, Moors and Leyton Orient.
I think Orient will win the league. And I think Edinburgh's got the experience to know how to get out of that league. And I genuinely think Wrexham will do something. I think Wrexham will finish in the playoffs because I think there's like 9 teams now or something stupid.
There's 6 teams in the playoffs.
Yeah, I think the second and third place team stay in the semis and the others play off against each other. Yeah, I think that's how it works or something. Yeah. So the team in second and third only play 1 game, the others play 2, whoever wins. Yeah. So I think Wrexham will be in the playoffs regardless anyway.
Well, Wrexham will make it into the playoffs obviously, but I think Wrexham will make it to the playoff final. It could be a Salford-Wrexham final. Could be. Could well be. Salford-Wrexham final, imagine that one. That'll be an interesting one. George WBA, can't stand our owner. He's invested £0 into the club and has decided to sack Moore, who has got us 4th in his first season. We're higher than the past 5 other relegated clubs. It's a poor show, isn't it? It's a poor show, and obviously if the fans like George are against it, you can't really poke the West Brom fans for it.
No.
But you know, for the club themselves to sack a manager, especially someone who cares about the club so much, 9 times out of 10, right? If a manager tends to fail at a club, it's because he doesn't care about the club. He cares about himself more than anything else, and he doesn't put the club first. Darren Moore is someone who cares about that football club, someone who's willing to put the club before himself. And whatever ideas he's got, he's gonna go out there with a plan to win, not with a plan to try and make himself stand out for a better job.
To me, I know they're fourth in the league and it'd be different, but it's like Lincoln sacking their manager now. Oh, he's top of the league. We're sacking you now.
Actually, no. Who's fourth at the moment? Mansfield. Mansfield have been on a bit of a poor run,
and it's like them sacking their manager.
Them sacking Flitcroft for being fourth in the league. Yeah, even though they got the biggest budget, Mansfield have got the biggest budget in our league.
There should be something. The manager should be able to stand up for have some rights and say, why have you sacked me?
I think sacking the manager has to go through a status of sort of
if it's in his contract, obviously he's going so many games, you got to do this, you got to do that, that's fair enough. If he was bottom of the league, 20 points adrift, or bottom of the league, get him relegated, they sack him. You have no arguments whatsoever.
The only thing that's in the manager's favours when they're getting sacked is the fact that they
pay off.
They get their payoff. Yeah. So at least they get a bit of money, but it doesn't matter because they're out of a freaking job anyway. So that money will only last for so long. Rich G, if Flynn goes in the summer, who would you replace him with? Depends who's available, because...
Depends who's available, and what we've got to be careful of is now, do you go with someone with experience or not? We went with someone with experience, Graham Wesley, and look what happened. Yeah. On paper, he was probably the best manager out there at
the then, before Wesley, it was very much a Flynn situation where Warren Feeney obviously succeeded John Sheridan. And it was part of an actual succession plan.
But the problem is, you then go with someone who's got no experience of managing, like Michael Flynn. Is he a one-off? Possibly.
But all managers have got to have their first job somewhere.
It's a hard one. And, until you know at the end of the season whether he does go or not, and who's available, it's hard to say, really.
So Weedy Weed saying you need a haircut. Yeah, I don't think you've heard that one before. Russ Page, do you think referees should be punished if they have a terrible game with poor decisions? Completely, 100% agree with that, yes.
I think every referee should be assessed, which I believe they are anyway. And I think it should be relegated and promoted from different leagues, which I think they are anyway.
Yeah.
But one thing I should happen, I think, is a referee should explain at the end of the game any decisions he has made and why.
And I've always said this as well, so I completely agree with Kev there. Put them in front of a camera and say...
why did you give that penalty? Why did you not?
Put them in front of a camera or in front of some journalists and then say, all right, and so your big decisions that you made today, can you talk us through them? So the penalty, the red card, the whatever big decisions he gave. And then he can explain why he gave them. Because if he's seen something that no one else saw, if he's seen it from his angle... then there's not a lot you can do about it, as long as he's called it how we can see it.
It's not a sort of thing where you get a slanging match with a referee. The referee sees it once. We could watch it 4 or 5 times on telly and say, yeah, that's a penalty. But the first time you see it, you might think that's never a penalty in a million years. The referee sees what we see.
The referee sees his view. He doesn't get to see it the way we see it.
Now,
he doesn't get
at the end of the day, like today's penalty now with Arsenal, you should turn around and say, right, well, I thought he pushed him. Right, okay, he hasn't. Right, I made a mistake. Sorry, that's it. That's the way it goes.
But next season, VAR will be in play.
VAR will be there, so they'll be overruled.
And then that penalty wouldn't have happened anyway if VAR. But then there are times where VAR, people look at it. A referee sitting in front of a screen will turn around and say, actually, I think that is a penalty. And if they say that, you've got to go with the referee this time. You can't just have this whole opinion and debate. At the end of the day, the rules are the rules. If the referee looks at something, he's got the luxury of the replay and he still thinks a penalty. I'm sorry, but a referee is more qualified to say whether it's a penalty or not than anyone else.
They're not going to get every decision right, but I just think that...
But then I'd say...
Either you interview the referee after the game, or he makes a statement, and someone then reads that statement out on behalf of that ref to say why he's made what decision.
The thing is, why you get... it may feel as though you're putting the referee under pressure, but at the same time... you may get a bit of sympathy for him because he'll turn around and say, look, I may have made a mistake on this one. From the angle I saw it at, it looked like a penalty. it wasn't a penalty as it turned out, and I apologise. Then you actually feel for him. At the end of the day, you actually realise he's a human being. Human beings make mistakes.
He's admitted it.
And then it's not quite as bad. Then at least people don't come down on
Other
the referees
people
quite
will
so
say,
badly.
why should he? Well, that's everyone's opinion. Myself, I think whether they should go in front of the camera themselves and do it, I don't know. But whether someone should, on their behalf, say why certain decisions were made.
Yeah. So ECFC North Devon Grecian. United were terrible today. I don't believe they were, actually, mate. I've got to disagree with that one. Weedy wee talking rubbish as always. Colin Simmons, why do some clubs not give away clubs their full allocation? At Bristol yesterday, Leeds took 2.5 days and they limited us. We would have doubled that.
Probably police.
It would have been a police thing, yeah.
Police thing. Leeds and Bristol City, I wouldn't have let 10 Leeds fans in, let alone 2,000 of them. At the end of the day, it's probably down to police. They're both clubs that are known for hooliganism in the past. It's a high profile game, both going, obviously Leeds going for promotion, Bristol City up there in the playoffs.
Yeah.
I reckon the police, gotta be. That's the only reason.
It would have been police.
Bristol 100%. City ain't going to say we're not going to let another 2,000 fans in. It's money for them.
Yeah,
it'll surely be down to the police.
Yeah. Nick Muller, Ipswich season starts now. Well, is there a great escape on for this season? Ipswich, the ones who could do it. Because every season you tend to find somebody pulls off an escape. Could Ipswich do it? I don't think they're going to, but Nick, I hope I'm wrong for your sake. Rich, when I say Emery having a great season, we would never have beaten Spurs, Chelsea United at home in the Prem under Wenger. We had 12, 15 points ahead than where we were this time last season. So a great season as in, well, yeah, he's having a good season. He's having he's better than Wenger at the moment.
Let's compare Emery to Wenger's first season.
When Wenger won
the Premier League.
Well, Wenger's first full season it was.
Yeah.
He came halfway through the 96-97 season, and then won the league in 97-98.
Unbeaten.
Yeah. Well, the unbeaten one was at 03.
03, so yeah, it was, you're right, later, but he won it. He won it his first full season. Yeah. So if you want to judge that, yes. Yeah, don't get me wrong, Emery's done well with Arsenal over what they had the last couple of years. But I wouldn't say it's a great season.
Just notice you have super chat. Yes, that means people can donate if they're feeling
football fans in it. I don't know.
Make examples of the people who've done it.
You can make examples. Obviously, we don't want to go back to the 80s where you have cages in the ground.
Yeah.
Obviously, we had the Hillsborough tragedy, which was a massive tragedy for football, where people got crushed in and fences were taken down. So if anything ever happened like that again, people could get onto the pitch and get out there. How we stop it, I don't think you ever will. But like Chris said, what you need to do is make examples of people.
Make examples of people. I mean,
you'll
real
never
examples
stop
of
anyone throwing stuff at the football match. You can't stop people throwing.
But then you got to make examples.
You got to make examples of them.
You got to ban these people for life.
The clubs need to do more as well. I think the clubs need to do more. I'm not being funny. We got stewards over Rodney Parade, and half the time they're not even looking on what's going on in the crowd. So
I think there's only so much clubs can do. If you make an example of the individuals who are doing things wrong, then it's going to deter people in future from wanting to do it. They think, it's not worth it.
I genuinely think if you punish the clubs, yes, it's not directly the club's fault, but someone like myself who love your club, it's not about the individual, it's then about the club as well, and hopefully other individuals will think, if I get punished, the club does as well.
Yeah, exactly. So there's that side of it as well. Ellis Williams, Senior destroyed Dan Butler yesterday. Everyone else dealt with him fine. Well, I don't think anyone dealt with Senior fine. Senior was the best player on the pitch yesterday, a deserved man of the match. And Dan Butler can be a bit suspect in defence at times, I feel.
Can't comment on yesterday's game one there. I haven't seen any highlights. I don't never watch the highlights when we get beaten well anyway, so.
Right. How much county won yesterday? 141 it was, Dylan. There's some. Why do you have a dead rat on top of your head? Hey, look, he has got some pants.
As he does.
Right. Okay. Right. No, Exeter probably won't get many playoffs.
No, you won't. Because Exeter will be the team that miss out, and Newport County will take their place in 7th.
Boom. not just London teams hate Spurs.
I
Oh,
wouldn't say I hate Spurs. I just don't like them. Chelsea. If any of the London sides I hate, it's Chelsea, to be honest. But
Luke County. Should Bale leave Real Madrid as he's clearly not appreciated?
Yes.
100%, yeah. Someone turn around and start saying that Man United have signed him. It's like, well, no, I haven't seen a single thing, so stop
I think
talking
if
bollocks.
there's any club he goes to, obviously Tottenham got the first refusal on him anyway. It was
Wow.
written, apparently it was written in his contract that if he come back, Spurs would have, whether they could afford him, but they got first refusal. I think
That's the first
Man
I've heard
City.
of that.
Yeah,
Man City would be the likely ones. Man United would be the other ones who could afford him.
But
But I
apparently
think
there was a thing that when he left, Tottenham would have first. Whether they can afford him is another matter.
I think if Liverpool were to sign Gareth Bale next season, that would be what they would need to win the league.
I'll tell you what would be a great. Although I'm not a lover of this club, imagine if he went to Chelsea, him and Hazard.
But then I'd imagine
Hazard,
if the likelihood of Bale going to Chelsea would be seeing Hazard go in the opposite direction.
It would do, but could you imagine the two of them?
Well, I put it out on here last time, and I'll ask you then, Kev.
Yeah.
If you were a Liverpool fan right now, and you could swap Salah, who's currently underperforming, for Bale, who we know is a game winner, would you do it?
Well, the problem is Salah's an 8-8 striker. Bale's not. Bale's a winner.
Well, Salah's playing as inside forward from the right hand side on his left foot, which is exactly what Bale could slot in that position quite nicely, actually.
I think on that, okay, if you thought about it hard, you would have to say Bale. The reason is Bale's proven over season after season he can perform in England and abroad.
And he can win
Salah
games.
had one good season with Liverpool so far.
But he had a really good season with Roma the season before that. But then, no, he's still the top scorer in the Premier League.
He is still top scorer, and it's a hard one. But for me, it would have to be Bale.
He's not as good as he was last year at the moment. But anyway, Rhino lad. Birmingham should play behind closed doors for the rest of the season due to the majority of fans applauding that idiot.
I genuinely think it should be dock points myself.
Yeah, I'd say that. Yeah, I wouldn't.
What does it gain playing behind closed doors? To be honest,
and the thing is, they say punishing the whole club because of one supporter. No, sorry, it wasn't one supporter. You know, the stands jumped out. You know, the people in the stands jumped out.
Playing games behind closed doors to me doesn't punish the club. Because any player will tell you as such, 95% of the time, regardless whether that pitch is, the crowd is, the crowd can be the 12th man, but most of the time, whether you've got a good side, if United, Liverpool, Arsenal, Tottenham didn't have a crowd in the stadium, they'd probably still win the games.
Probably, but the thing is, though, it would be a punishment to the club because their main income would be from ticket sales.
Their main income's gone, and at the end of the day, I think, to be honest, if you look at it, docking points would be more of a punishment.
Yeah, I think so.
I think if you take money off clubs, especially teams like Birmingham, and then you start having clubs going into administration and things like that, we don't want that happening in football.
Fried Water, what's your opinions on the Friday game? I think it's wrong, in my opinion. 3 games in 6 days, especially when it's so important in the season.
I think it's absolutely fantastic because Friday night game, I think we will probably get over 3,000.
Yeah.
Home fans, I'm on about. Cheltenham have probably been 500 down with them, so I would say we're probably looking at 3,500 to 4,000 crowd.
Yeah.
Had it been played Saturday, we'd have been lucky to get 2,500.
We've been lucky to get half that, to be honest. Yeah, because of the rugby. It kills me to say it, but the egg chasing for some people will take precedent, and I don't understand it myself. I don't know what's so appealing about that game. Howard, Kev, did you buy that top from Primark? Oh, check Howard out on the pants, eh?
Well, do they sell them in Primark? Do they each?
Well, you should know. Bradders Petford, let's talk about Real Madrid getting out of the Champions League. Well, Real Madrid and Paris Saint-Germain, it makes the Champions League very interesting indeed, especially for the fact that...
Man City's to win now.
Man City will win it. I completely agree. If Liverpool get through against Bayern Munich, we would have 4 English teams in the quarter-final, which is exactly what they need, because they were for a little while, they were in a bit of danger of actually losing coefficients, but Liverpool's UEFA Cup final, Man United's UEFA Cup win.
It's Man City's, and I think Man City will win it, I think.
Yeah, it's looking very likely, isn't it? As I say, Liverpool win the Premier League, Man City win the Champions League. And so Chris Ball is asserting his authority in you. Paul Dixon, evening Chris and Kevin, evening Paul. Matt Taylor cares about Exeter.
I'll sack him maybe from the league.
Right. Who do you think will win the Europa League? I've got a feeling Chelsea might go on and do that actually. If Arsenal can overcome Rennes, then maybe. But I don't think there's enough quality in them. Chelsea got enough quality, but is Sarri the right coach to deliver? Maybe in a continental competition, maybe he may have the tactics for it because he had the tactics for Serie A. He's not quite right for the Premier League at the moment, but maybe
I think
in
Tottenham
Europe.
will win it next year.
Tottenham next year, yeah. Matt Taylor's done a good job considering his first season as manager, not a coach. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, at the end of the day, Exeter last couple of seasons should have won promotion, to be honest. So.
Chris Ball makes a very, very good point here. Have we covered the successes of Blackpool today? To go from having 3,000 and under at home to 15,000 since the Oceans are gone.
Now you say about Blackpool.
Fan power. It's
fan power, and it's great they had the 15,000 there, but didn't they, when they equalised, their fans invaded the pitch again during the game?
Yeah, I suppose.
And at the end of the day, you've got to have one rule. You've got to have the same rule across the board.
Yeah.
Yes, I get the occasion and everything else. Why not do it at the end? They equalise, okay, towards the end of the game they invade the pitch. Surely they need to be made an example of. At the end of the day, you cannot enter a field of play while the game is on.
Completely agree.
So, to me, it's great for Blackpool, it's great they've got rid of their owners, but I think as a club, again, they need to be punished. We need to stop this in football happening.
Yeah.
It's not alright.
As soon as it's stamped out, then
it shouldn't be allowed. At the end of the day, I'm sorry, but they've invaded the pitch during the game. The club, alright, there may have been hundreds and hundreds, and you're not going to get everyone. The club needs to be needs some sanctions against them.
Yeah,
same as Birmingham, and the same as Arsenal.
Yeah, completely agree. Views on Real Madrid's exit in the Champions League. I'd like to focus more on Ajax's great performance in the Bernabeu, to be honest with you, because I got to be fair, they were absolutely brilliant, weren't they, Ajax?
Yeah, I've seen the highlights of that. Unbelievable game that was.
I mean, obviously, Man United.
I think then beating Real Madrid as well.
Man United, obviously, in the same week, Man United managed to get through against Paris Saint-Germain. But then Man United overturned a 2-goal deficit, which hadn't been done in the knockout stage of the Champions League yet.
No.
Losing by 2 goals or more at home, and then going away and turning it round and winning the tie. First time it's ever been done, so fair play to them for that. But Ajax, winning 4-1 at the Bernabeu, doesn't matter if Real Madrid are on a bad season. Real Madrid still have a world-class football team. And to win 4-1 against that team, absolutely unbelievable. I mean, absolutely brilliant. So, Weedy Weed is talking more crap, and his little cronies. Luke County, here we go. Somebody serious. With the money from the Cup and the new trust model bringing a substantial amount of money, surely Fleeny must be given a tidy transfer kitty for next season.
We've already said they're up in the budget next season for him anyway. Gavin's already admitted that.
Yeah, there we go.
And he said that he will have a bigger budget. Now, that's if Flinney's still here. If he's not, and he goes the end of the season, then I think it's something we need to look at. Do you then give the money to a new manager potentially, or not? I genuinely think Flinney will be here next season.
Do we pull some of that finance now and get Flinney on a new contract, bump his pay up slightly, get his better players on new contracts as well. I know we
I think the first thing we need to do is get the players he wants to keep for next season. At the end of the day, he's still a manager in Newport County.
We need to secure his future though, don't we?
We do, but he's still signed for another year at the moment. He's still signed to the end of next season. So I think the main thing is he's already signed for next season. We need to get them players signed up that he wants to keep. Then, once he's got them, because he knows he's here next season unless something happens out of the blue, then I think we need to get players on contracts. I think Joe Day needs to be the first one. I think we need to get all our defenders who are not already signed up. O'Brien, Demetrio, Butler.
Yeah. I
think the only players we're going to need next season, we're going to need 3 or 4 midfielders. Because I wouldn't keep Dolan. Labadie wouldn't keep, he's too injury prone. Backington will go back. Forbes is a load of rubbish anyway, so he'll go. He was only on a year's deal. So we've got no midfielders left at the squad. Sheehan, I don't think, will stay. That's your midfield gone. So we're going to need 3 or 4 midfield players, and I think we need to sign 3 permanent players. I know we've got that Randall who's just signed out, and we got Ben Kennedy. If we can sign Kennedy permanently, That'll be one.
Yeah.
And maybe Randall, don't know how he's going to turn out, but we're going to need two central. All right, we got Bennett, I know, but you're going to need two probably players similar
I'd
to
keep
Larry.
Bennett, mind.
Yeah, I think he signed it for next season anyway. But
No, he's signed it for the rest of this season at the moment, unless he had 2 years last year.
I can't remember.
I don't know if we gave him 2 years last year.
I think we're going to need 2 or 3 midfielders, to be honest.
Yeah, but
Definitely.
I for one would keep Labardi because
it depends on money, because to me he's injury prone at the moment, and he's
injury
not
prone or not,
older.
He's an influence in the dressing room as well.
He is.
You know,
it's whether or not what the club would agree with him, but I think we need 2 or 3 midfielders.
Okay, so Elliot 243. Some of the refs who are at the county need some decision questioning.
I think they do all games, to be honest.
I mean, yesterday their opening goal was a handball, and arguably it was an even game until they got the opening goal. I mean, fair enough. I mean, we were crap afterwards. We deserved to lose the game, as Flinney said, but you know, it was still a poor decision. It was still, I don't know what these people are looking at. I mean, the linesman in front of us was absolutely hopeless as well. I mean, in the first half there was 3 shirt pulls. You could see the shirt being ripped right off them, and they missed them. Paul Dixon, good to have Friday night football against Cheltenham this week. Hopefully a good crowd. Yeah, as Kev said.
Like I said, I think we get about 3.5, 4 phase in it, to be honest.
What happened? Chesterfield County bus trouble.
Why?
Don't know what you mean there, Rich. Sorry, mate.
We can play Chesterfield this season.
Read my comments, you marshmallow, says Weedy Weed. Well, when you put something serious in, I'll read them, mate. Exeter's got a big transfer budget, but never spend. Got a big transfer budget. You've sold players for millions over the last few years, and obviously I think a lot of that's gone into your stadium, to be honest, mate, which is looking a lot nicer than it used to be.
Yeah, they have a way end. Yeah, it'd be nice to go and see that next season.
True MUFC gamer, Amber Talk will kick off. That's obviously Michael Green then. Hopefully Amber Talk will be a success for the immediate future. Craig Hoey, with 11 games left for County, do you think we will make playoffs?
I think if we win our own games, we need to win our own games. What have we got left? 7 games, 8 games left at home. If we can win all our own games,
we win our own games
and pick up 1 or 2 wins away, I think we'll do it. We need to win. If we got 8 own games left, we need to win the 8 games.
But then from our away games, I mean, we're playing against the likes of Yeovil, Macclesfield, Morecambe, so we're playing teams who are down the bottom away. So
I think our home games, if we win all our own games, we'll do it. I genuinely think we'll do it.
Yeah. Luke County, FA Cup next weekend. Can you see a shock? I think Wolves to beat United.
I genuinely said, and I've already tipped Wolves when they beat Liverpool in the 3rd round. I said the Wolves will go on to win the cup this year. I think Wolves are the ones to win it this year.
Apparently United have offered Real 70 million for him, obviously talking about Bale.
Right, okay.
Oh, it's all sort of hearsay at the moment, isn't it? You know, there's nothing concrete there. WTF is this chat? I don't know. Some people putting in some rubbish. It's nice to see some people being serious though, like Rob Priest. Great to see Fan Power win the day again, Chris. Going to Bloomfield Road the other season and seeing it a quarter empty was a shame. Looking forward to Morecambe away via Blackpool for the weekender.
Very nice.
Hope you enjoy it, mate. I'll see you up there. Ellis Williams, do you think yesterday was our hardest game left? Away game, yes.
To be honest, I think Colchester were the best team we've played at home this season, although we beat them. I thought they were a very good side when we beat them at home.
Yeah. The best team that we've beaten at home.
I think they were,
I thought Stevenage were decent as well. Right, so some more rubbish. So Rob Priest, sorry Kev, I don't agree. You can't dock points for one idiot unless it's the red turds. But one idiot, yeah. But then when the Birmingham lad did what he did, and the fans jumped up and cheered and clapped him off, then that to me that means that they must agree with what he did. And for anyone to agree with what they did,
one idiot, yes, and it's always 1 or 2 idiots in the club that do it. At any club they go to, we've had it where we've had people throwing stuff, etc., etc. But Birmingham, over the past, have had problems, and I don't think it's the first time it's happened with them either. You You need to make an example of them. Whether it's docking points, okay, it may not be. But I think you need to do something. I think if you stop playing behind closed doors, to me, I think stopping money revenue coming into a club can kill a club.
Yeah.
And it's not what it's about, to be honest.
And docking points could potentially do that if it causes a relegation as well.
But if you're, at the end of the day, if you're already down, you're down. If you're mid-table, yes. But at least they're still getting the money coming in.
You just got to make a
And the thing is, at the end of the day, say you play behind closed doors, they didn't get no money in. They don't win them games. They go into administration because they got no money coming. Then you get docked 10 points. So,
bad times.
Who knows? Something's going to happen with a club anyway, I think.
Sorry, Brad has Petford has asked if we win the FA Cup. Obviously, Kev's given his answer and said Wolves, I think, is going to be Man City. United should beat Napoli and won't happen, but United versus City in final. Are we talking about the Champions League? United should beat Napoli, or do you mean Wolves? Because I don't know when have United got to play.
I genuinely think Man City have got a tough game next week against Swansea. I don't think it's going to be a pushover everyone thinks, to be honest.
Yeah.
I think Swansea will give them a good game.
So the Exeter fans seem to think that they were unlucky with Blackpool and then Coventry, two higher league teams. Obviously, you're talking about the two playoff finals that you lost.
Yeah, I think Coventry, at the end of the day, were the fans that the money they had behind them and what have you. Seen with Pompey, they should never have been in our league anyway. Yeah. Blackpool, yes. Are they a big team? They used to be. I know they had their issues and what have you, but at the end of the day, it is what it is, I suppose. Exeter, to me, shouldn't be in our league. He should have chances they've had in the playoffs, and for whatever reason, they blow it every year.
And they got the money there. But
and they've got the money there to push on, so there's obviously something there not right.
Because you obviously sold your players, but you also had that home and away against Liverpool as well, which must have made you over $1 million just that one tie. So, Brad's Petford, who do you think will get promoted from League Two? I think the current top three are going up automatically, and it's more than likely going to be Mansfield for the playoffs.
Beginning of the season, I said Mansfield are in the league. It'd be Mansfield, Lincoln, and MK Dons. That's the three I said.
And Bury are looking very good.
But Bury have come from nowhere at the moment, because I think beginning of the season they were struggling down the bottom, and since November they've flown up the league. So, and to be honest, I think, joking aside, I say we'll make the playoffs. And I genuinely think we will. If we don't, I think Northampton Town will. Because I think whoever wins Tuesday, if Northampton beat us Tuesday, I think they make the playoffs. Because they're flying at the moment.
Interesting one there. So the Exeter man also says, I think Newport will get playoffs, but we'll lose in the semi. I'll take that though.
I think if we make it, obviously if we get the playoffs, you want to win it. But yeah. Would we take that? Yeah, I'd rather lose in the semi-final than lose in the final. Because it's probably more gut-wrenching to lose in the final.
Yeah. Who's going down in League Two? Notts County and Macclesfield looking like?
I'd love Notts County in the Oval too.
Taff opinion on Saturday's results. Quite a lot of results actually went our way. Quite a lot of results actually went our way, except for our own one, of course.
Yeah.
But
at one point, I think, until Carlisle got their winner, we were still only 6 or 5 or 6 points behind. And Exeter dropped to 8th and Carlisle went 7th.
Yeah.
When they were game in hand, which is going to be, I think Tuesday's game's the important one. If we lose that, it's all over.
Yeah.
If we win that, we're back in the mix.
Welsh game, I'm sad that we sold Tadic for 10 mil. Well, yeah. Southampton sold Tadic to Ajax for 10 mil, and he was the star of the show at the Bernabeu. You must be gutted. Evening, Ryan. So there's a lot of. Who do you think will get relegated from League One? Bloody hell.
Wimbledon are gone, I think.
Looks like Wimbledon, possibly Rochdale. I think
Bradford
to save themselves.
I'd love Oxford to come down.
Oxford again, yeah.
I'd love Oxford to come down, I think I'd like to see Gillingham as well. But I think Bristol Rovers would be the other. That would be my.
Yeah.
Bristol Rovers would be great to have them in the derby next season.
Carrington Forbes is a waste of time, not rated by me. I suppose a lot of people just said the same about Dan Butler, but Dan
He
Butler's
started, to
forward
be
play
fair
was
to
good.
Forbes, he had a run of games at the beginning of the season. He took over from Pipey and he played quite well. And all of us, I don't know if he had an injury or something, but he just didn't see. Problem with Forbes, the same with Pipe. Pipey's no good as a right wing back. He's all right as right back. Forbes is okay as a right wing back, but not as a right back.
Yeah. Can't
So
defend.
he can't defend. Pipey's better defending because he can't go forward because he gets caught out.
I think.
So,
Would you say this would probably end up being Pipey's last season in playing?
yes, I think so. I think he's still, if he's still there next season, he'll be on the books. I think just as backup, to be honest.
On the books as a coach though, fitness coach.
Yeah, but I think he'll still be registered to play in case we need
him. Really something to start picking my nose. I'm scratching an itch, but I can do it for you. Piss off. Luke County. Crofts possibly the worst signing on a high wage. Crofts is a good signing in a matter of he brings a lot of experience to the table. He is a good football player.
The only thing I will say about that, and you'll probably quote me if I'm wrong here, didn't we have the same issue with Paul Hayes last season? I know we had the issue where he couldn't play because he'd played for somebody else or was registered or whatever.
We had to wait until
And he was
January for him to
injured,
play.
but an old player in his 30s, and Flynn signed him because he knew him or knew of him, whatever. Same with Crofts, he knew of him. I think Flynn needs to stop looking at these older players because the last two we have had, and don't get me wrong, Hayes done all right when he was on, but he never played the games he should have played. He would have been on a high wage, same as Crofts. I think next season he needs to go. He needs to stop looking at these ones with these older players anyway, unless it's proven they've played. Hayes hadn't played for a couple of when he came to us, hadn't played for a season. Crofts hadn't played for a season. He was injured most of it last season.
I think I'd prefer to see some younger blood coming through the team.
Well, if you're going to bring in someone experienced, you need to bring in someone who's played 20 odd games this season for somebody.
So Cracking Plur says James Ward-Prey is the best player in the world. Obviously, that's a bunch of bollocks. But like 2 years ago, Championship Manager or Football Manager seemed to think that he was going to be.
I wouldn't say he's the best in the world, but it was a great free kick. Fantastic free kick.
So we're going to have to quick fire through these now, guys. Exeter have one of the best academies in League 2 and League 1. Completely agree. Taff, when does your Oval tickets go on sale? I'm not too sure just yet. Keep an eye out on the club and what they say. So some... Right, okay. We got some bullshit, some more bullshit, some more bullshit. H, should we keep Andrew Crofts?
No.
Well, Callum Winton
Keep
says...
him for what?
Well, if he's fit and he does well, maybe. But then will he be...
What's the issue? 35 this year?
Would he be up for another season?
Nah, can't
We'll
run
see.
it for this season. Whether you keep him on a coaching role, maybe, but I wouldn't have him as a player.
So Callum Winton...
£2,000 a week. Apparently he's on, I think, is it 1,900 a week? Someone told me. No thanks, we could probably get two decent players in for that. We're actually going to play.
So Kev Baconson is our leader, apparently.
Leader for what?
Leader for mediocre mid-table finish. Okay, Elliot 243. I feel like we'd win a lot more if we didn't long ball all the time.
Yeah, to be fair, I think the last couple of games we've seemed to have gone back to doing that. The long ball, all the. I think since the Leicester game when we beat Leicester, and the Middlesbrough game as well in the replay, we played football.
Yeah.
Ever since in the league, for whatever reason, we seem to be playing a long ball.
I don't know
why.
The thing is, I think it's down to the fact that whenever we go with the three centre backs,
we seem
and the three at front, we don't have much of a midfield, so we can't play that passive football through up the pitch. You know, we got to put more people.
Well, I think against the Leicester game, we played four at the back, didn't he?
In the centre. Yeah, I think we did.
Yeah.
Luke County, can we keep hold of Hammond in the summer? I think so. Unless someone comes in with an offer that's too good to turn down.
I genuinely think we'll keep him because he's signed up to us for another year, so someone will have to make a contract. Now, unless someone comes in with stupid money, we ain't going to let him go. So, and someone's going to have to come in with stupid money because they're going to have to pay his contract up. So.
Right then, ECFC going to Wembley twice and losing. Saying how annoying is that? That would be devastating.
I don't know. Ask Wrexham.
So Callum's asking for us to swing the ban hammer, but then we got the moderators on here. The moderators will ban him if they feel they need to, Callum. West Page, Ammon just signed an extension at the end of the season. Yeah, I think it's the end of next season he signed the extension for. Essendon's thoughts on that guy having a go at Wilmot yesterday? Jeff said to stop. Jeff said yesterday. Jeff said to stop doing it on the coach.
Stop doing on the coach.
Well, the way I see it, if people want to voice an opinion, they paid their money, they have the right to it. But then at the same time, it doesn't do the players any good.
You have a go at the player, yes, and it's whether or not you go up to the player after the game and aggressively say it to their face, because you wouldn't walk up to someone in the street randomly and have a go at them in their face. You might, at the end of the day, if you shake across, if you're in the terrace and you shake him, get off, he's crap. Fair enough. To me, that's your opinion. But it depends. Players, I don't know how bad it was yesterday, whether the guy was in the player's face calling him all names and there's some being abusive towards him.
He was out of order for saying it because what he said is, oh look, you know, you're no good without the TV cameras. You know, you don't play for us without the TV cameras on you. I thought saying that was out of order because at the end of the day, we've had a good season. We've got a small budget.
No player really goes out to play bad, do they?
No. And at the end of the day, it's an inconsistent league. I mean, I actually saw Robbie Wilmot in Morrison's earlier and he made a very, very good point. We lost 3-0 to Colchester, who got battered by Swindon the week before. Swindon this week beat Carlisle, lost to Carlisle, and then we beat Carlisle. So see, there's a big circle there. If we beat Carlisle, but Carlisle beat Swindon, Swindon beat Colchester, Colchester beat us. That's the kind of league we're in. I don't know what people expect from these players all the time. You know, we're expected to be like Man City and win every game 3 or 4-0.
As Flinney has said in the past, and other people said, if we won every game, he wouldn't be playing in League Two. Some of them players. Exactly. That's why they're inconsistent.
They're inconsistent, and that's why they're in League Two and not playing at high level. Simple as. So let's try and crack on through these now. We're running out of time, guys. Rob Priest, Kev Brumman of Angels. I was there at the worst football riot this country's ever seen against Leeds in '85. A game or two behind closed doors is the only fair punishment I can see.
Yeah, I don't know what the answer is, to be honest, but something needs to be done. And I still think go docking points. Maybe it's not the right answer, I don't know, but
I think punishing the individual, you've got to set an example on the individual.
Set an example on the individual, and the club has to take some responsibility. Now, don't get me wrong, it's not directly aimed at the club. He might not even have been a Birmingham fan. Look what happened to that Cardiff when it ran on the pitch at the end.
Exactly.
Don't get me wrong, there was other fans on the pitch as well. And if Cardiff fan hadn't done what he had done, he wouldn't even have, no one would even have batted an eyelid.
Absolutely. But the guy was an absolute drunk.
He wasn't a Newport fan, but the club could still get done for that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I get what you're saying, but I think the club has to have some sort of punishment somewhere.
A big fine does it for me. A big fine. Callum Winton, where's best to stand or sit at Yeovil? It'll be the open terrace.
The open terrace, take an umbrella because it always rains every time we play them.
Yeah.
Apart from last year,
I wouldn't let him go for less than $1 million. That's obviously on about Hammond.
Yeah, I don't think
we're never going to get that much.
Never get $1 million for him.
So Rob Priest, definitely no points deduction. I think a big fine will suffice. Nick Muller could play Newport next year if we go down and you go up. That's a good point. Yeah, it'd be good to meet up with you, Nick. Ellis Williams, but he singled out one player when they were all dreadful. Robbie actually told me that he didn't single him out. It's just the way he was talking to the team, and Robbie was the one who stepped up and defended them. Worst I've seen Paul play. Yeah, it was his worst performance for us. Callum Winton says.
Oh right, okay. I don't know. I wasn't there, so
he was poor. Paul was. And then, Ellis Williams agrees.
As you just said, all of them were poor.
Yep.
So obviously, Wilmot must have been poor. Bennett must have been poor.
Everyone was poor.
So
there was no
again,
good player.
Singling out the player. Technically, yes, I've had to go at Baconson. I've had to go at Dolan in the past. Players like that. But at the end of the day, you win as a team, you lose as a team. If you've got players not tracking back, not pulling their weight, yes, you have a go at them. But at the end of the day, if your team were bad and poor, which people are saying they are, then singling out one player,
it's not right, is it?
No.
So Welsh Gamer saying he's obviously Hammond, he's an Irish international, they should receive bids of $1 million plus, but he's a bit too late in the day to receive bids of $1 million. If he was 19, then yeah.
Even 25, maybe 5 years younger, maybe. But I don't think. I think if realistically, if someone come in with a bid of 250k, we'd be stupid not to take it.
Absolutely, 100%. I don't even think we'd get that much for him. 150, you'd be looking at realistically. So guys, we're coming towards the end now, and it's time for us to put a dilemma onto you lot. So, Kev, would you like to do the honours and think of something this week?
Right. Okay.
So a big dilemma.
Right. The dilemma, I think, it's got to be covering the Bale thing.
The Bale thing.
Do you think Gareth Bale will return to the Premier League next season? If so, which club will buy him?
That's more of a question than a dilemma, but that's a good one. That's a good one to put out to you guys. But then the dilemma, obviously, is things like who was the best Premier League team of all time? Was it?
I tell you,
Man City's.
Here's probably a dilemma.
The Man City Centurions or the Arsenal Invincibles. Okay.
I think there probably is a dilemma then. To all county fans, and the youngsters probably won't remember back as far as it. The most successful, probably the best manager this club has had in recent times. So we're going back over the last...
Okay, how about, obviously there's two managers that stand out for me during the Reformation. How about we say, who's your favourite county manager, Michael Flynn or Justin Edinburgh?
Yeah, okay.
There it is.
Yeah.
If you're not a county fan...
I think the best manager so far of all time is Len Ashurst, but... But if you look recent time, since we've reformed, who's your favourite or best manager?
Who's the best? Who did? Right, and how about we call it this then, right? Whose accomplishment was the greatest? Edinburgh's promotion, and it was an unexpected promotion in 2013, or Flynn's great escape in 2017?
I know the answer to that myself.
Right. So there you go. Is Justin Edinburgh's promotion or Michael Flynn's great escape the greatest Newport County accomplishment since our reformation? But I suppose you could throw a third one in the mix there, and Dean Holdsworth's promotion with his record-breaking season from the Blue Square South, because that in itself was a fantastic achievement. So out of three, so Dean Holdsworth's title-winning season of 2010, Justin Edinburgh's playoff promotion in 2013, or Michael Flynn's great escape. Not which one was the biggest for the club itself, but whose achievement was the greatest. I think that's what it's got to boil down to. Whose achievement was the greatest? So Craig always says, I think there's really good things to come from the county. Yeah, hopefully that's going to be the case. I think we played our toughest game that we got left now. Colin Semenyo started yesterday for Bristol City. Looks like a fine prospect. Yeah, a bit of a shame that we lost him. At least he's actually playing for Bristol City and they haven't thrown him back into the reserves. Esmond's Podge jumped up in the wall with his arm in the air, got yellow carded, and then they got a free kick which led to the second goal. These things happen though, Ellis, you know. So Baz Petford saying see you next week. So people seem to think Spurs he could go back to. Do you like my new county flag? If it wasn't an English flag, then I might. But no, I'm only joking. It does look good. And I suppose we have got English fans who actually travel from England as well, funny enough. So I suppose, you know, it's good that English fans can feel at home with their own English county flags. So a lot of people saying Flynn. Someone said Edinburgh, which is Welsh Gamer. So, great escape. Great escape, great escape. Rob Priest is saying Ashurst, Addison, Flynn is Flynn in that order. Right? So since the Reformation though, whose achievement is the best? And it looks as though it was quite unanimous here, and it was the Great Escape. Would you agree with that one then, Kev?
Yes. The reason I agree with it, when Michael Flynn come in, never managed, he managed Indy.
Yeah.
But I've managed, it's like we might as well have managed in Tesco's, to be honest. I'm not being funny. Come in, we were gone, we were down. The club technically were going bust.
Yeah.
Because I think if we had got relegated, we were gone.
We could well have.
We were finished. We possibly may not have folded completely. We might have had to have dropped down another league again, whatever. I just think the achievement itself, obviously Edinburgh had already proven he was a good manager anyway.
Yeah.
Oldsworth had probably signed about 2 million players before we actually got the promotion from Blues.
Yeah.
What was it? He signed
players,
107 players in his 2.5, 3 years he was there. Something stupid like that.
Yeah.
He was like 20 players in, 38, 20 in, 30 in. So, all right, he got it right and he had a great season.
Yeah.
But to me, it's got to be Flynn.
Flynn in the
reason is he had nothing to lose, he come in. Yes, he saved the club, but for me, from potentially going bust.
Yeah.
I genuinely think he saved the club from going bust.
Mm-hmm.
And I just think for never ever having a job in management at that level and to turn around in such a quick time, it's got to be the greatest.
I don't think there's a single manager out there in world football who could turn around and admit that they think they could have achieved that as well.
No.
So on that note, then,
Graham Wesley.
He's a tosser, isn't he? Apparently, he seems to think it was still his achievement, the absolute.
Well, Graham Wesley still saying that he got us through to the Man City game.
No, yeah, he's a tosser, isn't he? I bet he actually thinks that as well. Yeah, my plan ended up sending Katie into whatever. Wesley, you're a cock. So there we go. On that note, then, guys, that's where we're going to call time. You've had us for a good hour, well, just over an hour actually. So thank you for those of you who stayed for the whole thing. We did get up to 30, so the number's going back up slightly. I don't know where all the people have gone, to be honest with you, but we're here now, and hopefully we'll pick up some more people when we do the next FA Cup draw, which will be the semi-final, which should be next Monday actually, so we look forward to doing that. But we'll be returning again next week at the usual time of 7 o'clock. Thanks for joining me, Kev.
No problem, and I'll see you all
again, thank you all for joining us. Good night. God bless. I meant that sarcastically because I'm an atheist. Thanks again, as always, up the county.
See you all Friday night.
Good night, people.